It's morning chess time. Let's turn it down a bit. 1840. I've been having a flat runs. Probably been playing too much late at night. Playing after a car crash probably isn't a good idea. A bicycle crash with a car. Same thing. Come on, Mr. Expert. You're going to give me 3 points but not moving. Give me a leg up. Oh, I think they might have left the game. That's right, that happened to me last night. I was kicked off the game. And lost a blow just by being kicked off by my internet or whatever it was. So that's coming back for me. That's chess karma. So it's good, that's those points back. But we will try and have a proper game. So you see, no point in really getting upset when you get kicked off the internet, because someone else will get kicked off sometime. It'll all even out in the end. Now I've got a Class A player. So it's a bit easier, hopefully. I know they say never to move this pawn. I'm doing some weird stuff here. I don't know what I'm doing. Might be castling queenside if I can unclutter this, because this is horrendous. I don't know what I've done. I don't think he knows what I've done either. Well, the thing is, I was so aware that I'd moved that pawn that you're not really supposed to move, weakening the king's position, and so I slided that bishop in. It's kind of a wrong type of fiancetto, really. Let's just get this out of the way. Maybe I should have moved the knight. Oh no, can't move the knight, can I?
Kingside castling.
Looks like we will be queenside castling. I think, anyway. I think we will. I'm going to go here for now. I'm not going to actually go there just yet. I might go kingside, actually. Maybe kingside's not so bad after all. Oh, that's kind of scuppered that idea a little bit. Unless... Oh yeah, I think I could... We'll just get both bishops in there. I don't see why not. I've never done it before, but I don't see why I can't have both bishops sitting there in front of my king. This could be a new idea that I've come up with here. Let's just do it. See how it works. It's like the fortress, it's like my fortress defense, but I've done it to one side instead of in the middle, which is my ultra defensive opening. No, I definitely don't want to move the c pawn, because it's going to be hard to defend that if I do. Unless I stick my rook on the c file. Let's just castle. It's really odd, this. See, the knights are covering those pawns as well. The only pawn that's not really covered is the one on the h file. But it kind of doesn't need to be. Because how is he going to get down there? I don't see how he can get his queen down. make my queen into a black bishop, I think. Let's put this here then. He can't take on passant with the bishop. We've got this. We can take that on passant, but it's not really that good for him to take it. Let's embarrass the let's just take my teddy. He was scared that the queen would get embarrassed, so he's given me the bishop instead. We're going to do that. It's cramped, but it's sort of working. It does appear to be sort of working. I've got some funny combinations here happening. Some nice things. Then I get that one. I don't think he was expecting that. Don't think he saw that. Why didn't I take that other pawn? Your queen is still under attack, mate. I don't know why I didn't take it. I completely forgot I was attacking his queen. He better move her. Just go back to that again. Just gave me a pre-rook there, didn't he? Yeah, I think my unusual opening there foxed him completely. Let's see if we can do a third. Yeah, I might use that opening again. I might try using that opening again. It's very powerful. We call that the fortress flank, or the flank fortress, the king's fortress, the kingside fortress, we will call that. Am I going to get 3 points again? Oh no, it's me to move. He's going to move fast, so we're going to hope that he makes a mistake here. Oh, okay. Better do that, so I can get the bishop out and then get the knight back. He's wasted that move now, hasn't he?
Check. Check.
It's all happening here.
Check.
I don't think he wants that to happen. He's got to castle now, he's got to.
Kingside castling. Kingside castling.
What's the damage? 7 pawns, 7 pawns. Absolutely even. I didn't make anything of that. I probably should have moved that pawn forward to a different square. I didn't think. Well, I forgot that that knight could cover. Ah, has he got anywhere to escape to with that knight now? Yes. Let's attack it anyway. There's quite a lot of attack-worthy stuff happening here. Let's stick it there like that. That was my plan. Got to get this pawn chain connected. He's playing a very dangerous game. Thank you. Right, I'm back on form. Yeah. Better knock it on the head there. 1862, so that was the interesting one, was this flank fortress defence, which started with this very dangerous pawn move. Never move the f-pawn, they say, but you see, the thing is, if you move the pawn that's dead opposite the knight that's coming out, it restricts him, and that's why I did that. I didn't explain it at the time. He's done these breaking up moves, this over-advancing, and if someone's overreaching and over-advancing, then I will always go for an ultra-defensive position, and that was why we ended up with this strangely fiancettoed bishop here. And it seemed like the only
Kingside
place to put the other one, reasonably, was here. So, and that's my fortress defence. Normally like that, it's like that in the middle, with the bishops in the middle of the thing, and the pawns don't even advance to the fourth rank in my fortress defence. The knights can go anywhere. They can go right to the edge, or they can go right both to the middle, or they can go one each side, or they quite often go one. They're quite often hokey-cokey. They both come out to the right or the left, and then the one that's on the edge advances. Anyway, you can see that in my fortress defence. This is very much like the fortress defence, only castled into it. I've castled into the fortress defence. So it's a castled fortress defence. And the whole idea behind the fortress defense is that it is pure defense. We don't bother attacking. We let the opponent bring it. The idea of building a fortress in chess, this is my theory, by the way, this isn't sort of standard theory, but the idea of building a fortress is that it is so good that when the opponent attacks, all he's going to do is produce weaknesses. That's the idea behind the fortress. See, I'm not even bothering to recapture, I'm letting him do that. But and there was this really nice move here with the knight, because he can take the rook, but then I take that and my rook is right on his king, you see. I'm trying to remember how this panned out, this game, because I'm thinking of the previous game now. But what if he hadn't taken that, the knight instead, with... Sorry, that is what he did, isn't it? So what if he had, instead of taking that, let's say he just didn't take it. Let's say instead he just moves this knight out of the line of fire. What's my next move now? That's your question. Well, I would have done that, you see. And if he recaptures with the queen, then he's off my rook, and my rook can take that pawn. So he kind of has to capture with that. And yeah, and the other thing that happens... so the other thing that happens, if he does that, is that when I reveal this line with the bishop on my rook, and he could easily get caught out and not see that that's happened, and then he might go to take that rook. So I would just leave it hanging for now, and I'd put my knight, say, here, attacking his queen, and that might make him make the decision to take the rook. Clever enough to see that the rook, that his queen's under attack. He's actually got limited squares to move to, and I would imagine he would probably move to, say, there. But then, again, I'm attacking that pawn, so he'd have to move maybe back a bit. And I don't know, I think I've got the better of that. I've got this one still. I still win a pawn either way. And of course he'll come out with the knights, he'll start doing all of this nonsense. But then I've got this, and really, I don't think he's got much game. He's a bit hamstrung, really. The fortress has held. It's interesting, the fortress defense for you. And in the actual game, it panned out obviously differently. We did do that exchange, and then he grabbed a pawn. But in return for that pawn, I got my rook on that opposite his, on his king's side. A bit unexpectedly, perhaps, and then he's trying to do a bit of cleaning up down here, but there isn't really much he can do, really. Yeah, he can sort of... And then, you see, that bishop move, he didn't really see what that did. And then I got ready for this, and look, it's all open here, you see. What I'm thinking of doing is getting the queen onto this square here. So that's what the purpose of that bishop move was, to just get rid of everything on that square there. He kind of forgot that I'd moved that bishop there. And just a lot of different threats for him to have to focus on. So when I took that, that's just a free piece. So now I've got the two bishops, two rooks, a knight and a queen, and he's got one bishop, one knight, one rook, and a queen. I'm not even quite sure how I won two extra pieces. I did see myself win one extra, but I'm not quite sure how I won two. But anyway, there we are. That is that's like a fortress defense flank variation that I've now just played. I've just discovered and invented.